These are brand new. And we're getting new tables in a week. Oh, they were terrible. Mary didn't spend half her money, so we let her order whatever she wanted. Next year we have to order new tables. Exercise?
Welcome, everyone, to the reorganization meeting for the Township of Rockaway for the year 2020. This meeting is now called to order at 7:30 p.m. This meeting was advertised in the Daily Record on December 13th, 2019, and the Star Ledger on December 14th, 2019, the official newspapers for the Township of Rockaway. Notice was posted on the official bulletin boards of Rockaway Township. I would like to welcome up Boy Scout Troop 160 to present tonight's flag salute.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And if we could please now take a moment of silence to remember the service and sacrifices of the armed service members who protect our nation and the first responders who protect our neighborhoods.
Mrs. Clerk, I have one thing I'd like to add to that, if I could.
Okay.
Many of the members of the public, I know our officials out there know, that our legislative district 26, Jay Weber's father had passed away on the 4th of January. He was 84 years old, born in the Bronx, had lived in Clifton, and then he had ended in his life in Pompton Plains. He was also a veteran of the United States Army, so if we can please recognize that as well. Thank you.
Thank you. I would now like to ask Rabbi Asher Herson to present the invocation this evening.
Wherever you're comfortable.
Good evening, Mayor, members of council, township officials and staff, and fellow residents. Almighty Creator, Maker of heaven and earth, we look to you always for guidance. You created this world and each divine soul within it in such a curious manner. At the outset, you created massive amounts of animals, birds, fish, vegetation, stars, and planetary bodies. But only one man and one woman. This seems so odd. One man and one woman to inhabit the entire earth? Why not masses of human beings to inhabit the planet, just like any other creation? But the lesson here is all powerful for all time. This remarkable design of creation is to teach one foundational lesson. Every person is an entire world, and the entire world revolves around every person. Every person is sent down as a godly emissary and charged with a unique and biblical mission to directly affect the world and all those who reside in it. And that is why every human being is so precious in your eyes, and hopefully in the eyes of each and every one of us as well. To strengthen this foundation, a point even further, the biblical verse states, a candle of God is the soul of man. Why is the soul compared to a candle? To teach you that the sole purpose of the the soul's descent into this physical world is to illuminate it. And every godly soul has the power to do just that. Through acts of loving kindness and reaching out to those in need, materially, emotionally, or spiritually, each of us, especially as we work together as one, can without doubt transform this material world into a caring, illuminated, and godly place. May you, our Heavenly Father, bless and guide the elected officials and administrators of our blessed township with the wisdom and insight to lead, inspire, and guide all of our residents, so that we all dedicate ourselves in action to enhancing the life of others in our township, through fulfilling our civic and godly duties, befriending a neighbor, never passing judgment on another, and taking personal responsibility for a person in need, and through working together as a team, which is in sync with the design which you, Almighty, created us all, we will succeed. May God bless the community leaders and all servants of our beloved township who are charged with uplifting our fellow residents in the most moral and upstanding manner. May God bless this consecrated assemblage. May God bless the citizens of this great land and all of our nation's leaders, along with all mankind. May God bless the United States of America. Amen.
Amen.
And now we have the official canvass. A statement of determination of the Board of Canvassers relative to an election held in the Township of Rockaway, County of Morrison, State of New Jersey, for the election of certain municipal officers for the municipality on the 5th day of November 2019. The said board does determine that at the said election, Mayor Michael Puzio was elected again as mayor for a 4-year term. We have Joseph Jackson elected for a council at large for a 4-year term. Adam Salberg, council at large for a 4-year term, and Howard Kritz, council at large for a 4-year term, and Mary Noon, Township Council, Ward 1, to fulfill an unexpired 2-year term. And at this time, we'll have the oath of offices for the mayor and council members at large. Mayor Michael Puzio. I gave John the list.
No, in front of that sign it says Rockaway Township. He takes a picture.
Mayor, please repeat
this state, under the authority of the people. So help me God.
Mayor Puzio, I'll need you to sign that before you move on. I need you to sign his oath of office before you move on.
I, Adam Salberg, do solemnly swear that I will faithfully, impartially, and justly perform all the duties of the office of Rockaway Township Councilman at Large, to the best of my ability, and that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey, and that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same, and to the governments established in the United States and in this state, under the authority of the people. So help me God. I, Howard Kritz, do solemnly swear that I will faithfully, impartially, and justly perform all the duties of the office of Rockaway Township Councilman at Large, to the best of my ability, and that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey, and that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same and to the governments established in the United States and in this state under the authority of the people. So help me God.
Pete, did you get them all? Did? Just tell them. Just give me.
You said Adam Solberg. You can come up, Adam Solberg.
Thank you. Okay, no problem. Before we move forward on the agenda, we were given letters for all of our newly elected officials from Congresswoman Mikey Sherrill's office. I'm going to read one of the letters for everyone's benefit, and I will distribute them after the meeting. This one reads, Dear Mayor Puzio, I want to extend my congratulations on your re-election in November and now on being sworn in as the mayor of Rockaway Township. Today you are renewing a commitment to serve others. This call to public service has shaped our country since its founding and continues to be one of our greatest strengths. As we head into the new year, it is clear that New Jerseyans are ready for servant leaders to work for them, hear their concerns, and take action to help our communities thrive. I have no doubt that you will continue to provide that leadership in Rockaway Township. Congratulations again, and I look forward to continuing to work with you. Please don't hesitate to reach out if I can ever be of assistance. I wish you all the very best as you take office. Sincerely, Mikey Sherrill, Member of Congress. Now we're going to take roll call. Councilmember Friedlander?
Here.
Councilmember Jackson?
Here.
Councilmember Kelly?
Here.
Councilmember Kritz?
Here.
Councilmember Noon?
Here.
Councilmember Sackett?
Here.
Sorry about that.
Councilmember Salber?
Here.
And Councilmember Quinn.
Here.
And now we have the election of a council president. Would anyone like to make a nomination or a motion?
Clerk?
Mr.
Yes. I'd like to nominate for council president, it gives me great honor to do, Joe Jackson for council president. And for vice president, Jonathan Sackett.
I'll second that.
Okay. Councilmember Friedlander?
Yes.
Councilmember Jackson?
Yes.
Councilmember Kelly?
No.
Councilmember Kritz?
Yes.
Councilmember Noon?
Yes.
Councilmember Sackett?
Yes.
Councilmember Salberg?
Yes.
Councilmember Quinn?
Yes.
We have 7 yeses, 1 no. The motion carries. And now we are going to administer the oath of office to our new council president. I need You have my Bible.
Yeah.
I, Joe Jackson. Do solemnly Jonathan Sackett,
I, Jonathan Sackett,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly, hold on 1 second. Mom, can you come up? Mom's here. 1 second.
You ready? I, Jonathan Sackett,
I, Jonathan Sackett,
do solemnly swear
that I will faithfully,
impartially,
impartially,
and justly
perform all the duties
of the office of Rockaway Township Council Vice President
of the office of Rockaway Township Council Vice President
to the best of my ability,
to the best of my ability,
and that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and that I will bear true faith and allegiance
and I will bear true faith and allegiance
to the same
to the same
and to the governments established
and to the governments established
in the United States
in the United States
and in this state
and in this state
under the authority of the people.
under authority of the people.
So help me God.
So help me God.
They do after the mayor's
Back right behind you.
down to the point.
Thanks. Yeah, thanks, Frank. Good to go?
Your shoulder?
Okay, next on the agenda, I'd like to cover Resolution R 20-25. Resolution re-ratifying and affirming the election of Douglas Brooks Jr. to the Rockaway Township Council on September 24th, 2019. Do I have a motion?
Council President, I have a recognize real quick. Just a quick question.
Sure.
Council President, if you could ask our selected council that we have here, if this governing body is a continuous governing body from 2019 to 2020?
No. And you have a motion?
Before,
A second.
Council President,
Second.
it's important.
You're not recognized.
Here we go.
Roll call.
Councilmember Friedlander,
Yes.
Councilmember Kelly,
Go to the next person.
No.
Councilmember Chris,
How do you participate if you're not a?
Yes.
Councilmember New,
Yes.
Councilmember Salberg,
Yes.
Councilmember Quinn,
Yes.
Vice President Sackett,
Yes.
President Jackson.
Yes.
We have 7 yeses, 1 no, motion carries.
Come on up, Doug. So we'll have the swearing in of Councilman Brooks next. If he talks again, I will.
The question was, since you're running
I, Douglas Brooks, do solemnly swear that I will faithfully, impartially, and justly, perform all the duties of the office of Rockaway Township
Congratulations.
Doug, are you going, do you forget something? Was he gonna sit up here? No, he's getting stuff, yeah. My Mr. Brooks comes up, and before we move on to the mayor's address, I'd like to recognize some dignitaries that are here tonight. Jill Hirsch, Representative Congresswoman Cheryl is here. Senator Panaccio's here. Our county clerk, Ann Grassi's here. The vice president of our Italian American Club, John Lazzaro's here. William Chiavelli, former Rockaway Township councilman's here. And freeholder Debbie Smith is here, and she's going to just take a minute and say a few words.
I want to wish, on behalf of the Board of Chosen Freeholders of Morris County, I want to wish you all a very happy, healthy, and a prosperous new year. May everything go well for Rockaway Township. I'm here to invite you all tomorrow, Thursday evening on the 9th at 5 p.m. We are having an anti-hate rally. And one might wonder why, but all you have to do is read the paper. Muncie, Jersey City, Texas Church. And unfortunately, there is a lot of hate in our nation. And what we want to do is say, in Morris County, not here, not now, and not ever. So on Thursday, January 9th at 5 p.m. at the Gottesman Academy on Dover-Chester Road, we will be holding an anti-hate rally. You're all invited. I would caution you to get there early for parking. And if you can't find parking there, the police will direct you over to CCM's parking lot, and there will be transport to go over there. It should run about an hour. We have a number of religious denominations that will be speaking. You'll hear me again. And the Attorney General, a message from Congresswoman Cheryl, Senator Bucco, and our prosecutor will be there, and our sheriff will be there as well. So please come out so we let people know it doesn't happen here in Morris County. Thank you.
Thank you, Fielder Smith. I'd like to move to item 16 on the agenda, the mayor's address.
First, I want to thank everybody for coming out tonight, showing support for Rockaway Township, for our new council people out there. We're here to start a new year in the government of Rockaway Township. As I start my first full term as mayor, I must first acknowledge the people who have helped me do the job that I'm supposed to be doing for the residents of Rockaway Township over the past year. I give my personal thanks to former Council President Sackett. Jonathan, it was wonderful working with you. And you, Joe, I'm looking forward to just working with you like we've been for the past year. Council President Jackson, Council members Quinn, Freelander, Noon, and Brooks for their support and leadership. I also must thank Council member Salver for his advice as acting mayor during the most difficult period in recent political history for Rockaway Township. I must also give special thanks to the late Mayor Michael Batchison, whose leadership over the years as a council member, council president, and mayor positioned the town for future success. Not to be forgotten are the many members of my administration and staff whose loyalty and tireless work effort make my job as mayor possible. I will not rehash the turmoil over the past few years because it serves no purpose in my administration. The council and the residents of Rockaway Township must put those experiences behind us and move forward in good government and collaborative government. I and my administration will continue to practice what I have developed over the past year, working with all members of the council in all areas that our form of government permits. In that regard, we must recognize and remember that there are two arms of the township government, the mayor and the council. They have separate and distinct areas of responsibility and authority. I promise that I will respect the authority of the council to do its job, and I ask that they do the same as far as myself and my administration are concerned. That is the foundation of good government. We are all here to serve the residents of Rockaway Township. To the residents, I must first say I thank you for your support during my prior year as mayor and in choosing me to be your mayor for the next 4 years going forward. I ask the residents to continue their participation in our government by attendance at the council meetings and urge our residents to continue their scrutiny council members, I say welcome. I promise you that I will work with you as I have with the incumbent members of the council to confront all of our issues that will face Rockaway Township in the coming year and to meet our obligations to all of our residents. To everyone, again, I say thank you. Happy New Year. God bless Rockaway Township and the United States of America.
We're going to take a brief recess until 8:10.
Oh, no.
Oh, I'm sorry. Rabbi Asher Hershen is going to present the benediction. I'm sorry, Rabbi. Thank you. Let's see how long his benediction is, then I'll say how long we're going to break.
Almighty Father in heaven, we live in turbulent times with global, even domestic terrorism on everyone's mind, emotionally charged domestic issues as well as individuals with dealing with personal challenges. And one can reasonably ask, from where do we get the strength to forge ahead with an uncompromising positive attitude? To answer this question, we didn't look further than the back of a dollar bill. Yes, our beloved United States of America, a country of great divine benevolence and justice, has one and only one official motto: in God we trust. Belief is one thing, but trust is another. Trust is when you fully give over the matter at hand to the one that you trust, with full peace of mind, with absolutely no worries. We are, of course, obligated to vigorously pursue the physical channels and solutions to obstacles and challenges. But our efforts are that, indeed, only channels to funnel your blessings. Solutions come through our endeavors, but not from them. And that is why we do not worship our endeavors. We use them just as channels. Ironically, unlike faith, trust can only be developed in a time of great need. So a challenging time is actually a prime opportunity to develop a trust which we may have never experienced before. So our national motto says a lot about the foundations of our beloved United States of America. This principle has always been a cornerstone of American life. So the next time we have a question, we can pull out our wallet and reflect on our currency for inspiration as well. In God we trust is a guiding principle which will never let us down. And if I may, conclusion. It's always critical to connect an inspiration, a resolution, or just a good heart with action. One such action, if I may humbly suggest, applies to us all, is easy to do, but whose impact is immeasurable. And that would be giving charity every day. A charity box can be obtained from any local charitable organization. A person can use their own container, a cup, regardless of quantity. What's most important, though, is that it's every day. Because every day when a person, particularly at the beginning of the day, thinks about the needs of another, it changes the person. And that is something that is palpable, tangible. And regardless of quantity, the person should know that every individual here is capable of putting their coin in their charity box every day and impacting the world and themselves. May God Almighty bless the sacred assembly and the reorganization of our township's government and guide our township's leaders so they can heighten the material and moral fiber of our blessed township. Thank you. A happy and healthy New Year, and may God bless you all.
Thank you, Rabbi. Thank you, Rabbi Sark. Okay, we're going to recess till 8:15.
Rabbi,
A canner? Yeah. Is the canner below? Yeah. They do the singer, right? Yeah. Okay.
better. They said, open them all to get them off. big boiling event, so hopefully we'll get a lot of machine tomorrow. The one doctor added to the office, his medicine overnight, so that was fine. But I was there, he tried to rip the thing out of his throat, and locked the thing down. So, yeah, so I was there for like 45.
Right.
I lived over Craig, so that
I said adios. You did. I knew what to do. I made sure of it. I'll drop you off some chips soon, okay? I like when people say I'm normally. Okay. So you're not doing it? You can say I'm not doing it. You. I'm not doing it. That's what I. Okay. Oh, that's the new what I have to say. I'm not doing it. I also like to hear yeah. That's. Yes, I know your mother doesn't like that. Do you remember my daughter, Becca? You are good. I did not. Did you know? Becca's here. Come on over, Beck. Say hi. Andy, scooch out of my daughter's way.
I can't see
Hey, Michael. Oh. Wait. Give me a hug.
Oh, no way.
Beck's going in for a hug. Hey. We gotta get you on Chloe again, right? I remember you said you would say adios last time I saw you, right?
You have to say adios when you say goodbye.
I know. I'll say adios when you say goodbye, right? And Chloe, I got off of Chloe's right side. Yeah, you did perfect. Then it's better ride Cash. That's who your brother drove. Cash will let me get off the right side, right? Oh, yeah. Cash will. I would like to drop you because those are horses I would like to drop.
You're on microphone for everybody in the world to hear. It's being recorded.
Excellent.
Sit right here.
Yes. I told me, oh, don't say that. But that's inappropriate.
Continuity.
My predecessor, Jim Blood, told me spoke very highly of you.
Okay, we can tell.
I forgot.
Our conversation.
that what you do? We can get the meeting moving along again, that'd be great. Dan, thanks again for coming. Damn right. All right, next we'll go to item 19. The meeting's back in session at 8:16. Next will be number 19, mayor's appointments.
I have Clean Communities Coordinator. It's a one-year term ending 12/31/2020. Cara Salino.
Mike, your mic.
Can't hear me?
Mike.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Better.
Yes.
Community, number B, Community Development Revenue Sharing Committee, Peter Tabbitt. Alternate, Allison Ferrante, our engineer. C, Parks and Recreation Planning Committee, Jonathan Sackett will be the chair. We have Doug Brooks Sr., Doug Brooks Jr., Doug Bratton, lots of Dougs, so that's easy. Brian Coward, this is the Township Liaison. D, Planning Board, Class 2, Captain Robert Shear. Planning Board, Class 4, Frank Barilla, James Lutz, Jack Elko, Phyllis Hampman, David Washington, Doug Romaine. Recycling Coordinator, Al Noth. Shade Tree Commission, Robert Thomas Peralt and Chris McMorland.
Okay. Now we'll go to number 20, mayor's appointments with advice and consent of the council.
Each one of these is going to be done individually, and you guys will have to vote on each one. Okay, A is Affordable Housing Officer, one-year term, ending 12/31/2020. Valerie Schreck.
I'll make a motion.
Second.
Councilmember Brooks?
Yes.
Yes.
Councilmember Friedlander?
Yes.
Councilmember Kelly?
Yes.
Councilmember Kritz?
Yes.
Councilmember Noon?
Yes.
Councilmember Salberg?
Yes.
Councilmember Quinn?
Yes.
Vice President Sackett?
Yes.
President Jackson?
Yes.
We have 9 yeses, motion carries.
Okay, B, Municipal Attorney, one-year term, ending 12/31/2020. Yachafano and Perone.
And I'll make the motion.
Second.
Adam.
Councilmember Brooks?
Yes.
Councilmember Friedlander?
Yes.
Councilmember Kelly?
No.
Councilmember Kritz?
Yes.
Councilmember Noon?
Yes.
Councilmember Salberg?
Yes.
Councilmember Quinn?
Yes.
Vice President Sackett?
This time, yes.
President Jackson?
Yes.
We have 8 yeses, 1 no, motion carries.
C, Conflicts Council, one-year term, ending 12/31/2020. Marizidi and Falcon.
I'll make the motion.
Second.
Councilmember Brooks?
Yes.
Councilmember Friedlander?
Yes.
Councilmember Kelly?
No.
Councilmember Kritz?
Yes.
Councilmember Noon?
Yes.
Councilmember Salberg?
Yes.
Councilmember Quinn?
Yes.
Vice President Sackett?
Yes.
President Jackson?
Yes.
We have 8 yeses, 1 no, motion carries.
D, Labor Council, one-year term, ending 12/31/2020. Laddie, Clark, and Ryan.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
Councilmember Brooks?
Yes.
Councilmember Friedlander?
Yes.
Councilmember Kelly?
Yes.
Councilmember Kritz?
Yes.
Councilmember Noon?
Yes.
Councilmember Salberg?
Yes.
Councilmember Quinn?
Yes.
Vice President Sackett?
Yes.
President Jackson?
Yes.
We have 9 yeses, motion carries.
E, Bond Counsel, 1-year term ending 12/31/2020. Hawkins, Delafield, and Wood, as well as Perlman and Miranda.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
Councilmember Brooks?
Yes.
Councilmember Friedlander?
Yes.
Councilmember Kelly?
No.
Councilmember Fritz?
Yes.
Councilmember Noon?
Yes.
Councilmember Salberg?
Yes.
Councilmember Quinn?
Yes.
Vice President Sackett?
Yes.
President Jackson?
Yes.
We have 8 yeses, 1 no, motion carries.
F, Municipal Prosecutor, 1-year term ending 12/31/2020. Peter J. King and Lisa Thompson as the alternate.
I'll make a motion.
Second.
Councilmember Brooks?
Yes.
Councilmember Friedlander?
Yes.
Councilmember Kelly?
Yes.
Councilmember Fritz?
Yes.
Councilmember Noon?
Yes.
Councilmember Salberg?
Yes.
Councilmember Quinn?
Yes.
Vice President Sackett?
No.
President Jackson?
Yes.
You have 8 yeses, 1 no, motion carries.
G, Public Defender, 1-year term, 12/31/2020.
The name?
Joseph O'Toole.
I'll make the motion.
Second.
Councilmember Brooks?
Yes.
Councilmember Friedlander?
Yes.
Councilmember Kelly?
Yes.
Councilmember Fritz?
Yes.
Councilmember Noon?
Yes.
Councilmember Salberg?
Yes.
Councilmember Quinn?
Yes.
Vice President Sackett?
Yes.
President Jackson?
Yes.
We have 9 yeses, motion carries.
H is going to be the block, but I'll read out the individuals. H is Department Heads. Business Administrator Patricia Seeger, Chief Financial Officer Lisa Palmieri, Director of Fire Jeffrey Heinzelman, Director of Public Works Al Knopf, Township Engineer Allison Ferrante, and Police Chief Martin McFarland.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second it.
Councilmember Brooks?
Yes.
Councilmember Friedlander?
Yes.
Councilmember Kelly?
No to 1, no to 6. Yes for the Chief Financial Officer, yes for the Director of Fire, yes of Director of Public Works, and yes for the Township Engineer.
Can I ask the Township Attorney, is it okay, or do we need to vote no or yes to the entire thing?
Council President, was submitted as a block unless a motion is made and passed by the council to excise particular positions from the block. With the motion as stated, that is to say a block motion, the only appropriate vote would be yes or no, again, unless a motion is made to excise, given in individual matters.
So
My vote stands. I'm not changing it.
So, no.
Councilmember Fritz?
Yes.
Councilmember Noon?
Yes.
Councilmember Salberg?
Yes.
Councilmember Quinn?
Yes.
Vice President Sackett?
Yes.
President Jackson?
Yes.
Mr. Yachafano, with how Mr. Kelly voted, how would you suggest that I add up how do I record the vote?
Since no motion was made to excise individual matters from the block presented by the mayor, my opinion would be that Mr. Kelly's vote should be cast as a no vote or a no vote for the entire slate.
That's not how I voted.
I, Citizens Recreation Committee, 1-year term, ending 12/31/2020. We have Robert Conlon, the chair, John Boylan, Thomas McGinley, Gerard Nolan, Kevin McClune. Kevin is okay.
No. Kevin.
I'm going to remove Kevin. Kevin is resigned. Margaret Argianziano, Jackie Bader, Nicholas Walwork, Steve Leop, Amy Colas, and Rich Oler.
Mayor, it's Steve Leo. Someone put a P on the end.
Steve Leo, I stand corrected.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
I'll make a motion to do it individually. Do I have a second?
Motion requires a second and a majority vote.
There's no second, so move on to the roll.
Councilmember Brooks,
Yes.
Councilmember Friedlander,
Yes.
Councilmember Kelly,
No for Conlon, yes for the rest.
Councilmember Fritz,
Yes.
Councilmember Noon,
Yes.
Councilmember Salberg,
Yes.
Councilmember Quinn,
Yes.
Vice President Sackett,
Yes.
President Jackson,
Yes. Next, we will go on to. Yeah. Next, we'll be going on to council appointments. A, auditor, one-year term ending December 31st, 2020. Nisavacia and Company LLP. Can I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Roll.
Councilmember Brooks,
Yes.
Councilmember Friedlander,
Yes.
Councilmember Kelly,
Yes.
Councilmember Fritz,
Yes.
Councilmember Noon,
Yes.
Councilmember Salberg,
Yes.
Councilmember Quinn,
Yes.
Vice President Sackett,
Yes.
President Jackson,
Yes.
we have nine.
Motion carries.
9 yeses, motion carries.
B, Planning Board Member, Class 3, one-year term ending December 31st, 2020, Jack Quinn. Motion, second.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second it.
Councilmember Brooks,
Yes.
Councilmember Friedlander,
Yes.
Councilmember Kelly,
Yes.
Councilmember Fritz,
Yes.
Councilmember Noon,
Yes.
Councilmember Salberg,
Yes.
Councilmember Quinn,
Yes.
Vice President Sackett,
Yes.
Hey, you can still get
President
in.
Jackson.
Yes.
We have 9 yeses, motion carries.
C, Zoning Board of Adjustment, full member.
Council
unexpired.
President Jackson, real quick, before you read C, I want to make a motion on it.
Okay.
I'd like to make a motion for a zoning board adjustment full member. I'd like to make a motion for Robin Garcia and alternate member Susan Royak.
Council President, that would be properly constituted as a motion to amend the agenda.
Yep.
And then council
Need a
can vote
second
on
vote?
it, yeah.
Yep.
So I'd like to make a motion to amend the agenda for this.
I'll second it.
Can we have a discussion on that, real quick?
Sure.
If I recall, there was an issue of residency of the individual that Mr. Sackett is making a motion for. How we
Ms.
have
Garcia?
confirmation?
Ms. Garcia or Ms. Rowe?
Ms. Garcia.
Are you aware of that? Or?
Clerk?
I know that the question had been raised. I don't know whatever came about the investigation. I wasn't involved.
Do you know who
Mr. Yachafano, do you know anything about that?
Ms. Garcia's residency status?
I have no information in my possession that would indicate that
She's not.
she is not a resident of Rockaway Township.
Then she cannot be a member of the zoning board.
No, that's
No,
not what I
she's
said,
not a
Mr.
member.
Kelly.
She is.
Two negatives don't make a positive.
Okay. All right, let me take the roll. Yep.
Councilmember Brooks,
We're voting to amend the agenda.
No.
The motion is to amend the agenda in accordance with the nominations of
Yep.
Vice President Sackett.
Yep.
And then to vote on those nominations.
Go ahead, Mr. Brooks.
No again.
Councilmember Friedlander,
Yes.
Councilmember Kelly,
No.
Councilmember Fritz,
No.
Councilmember Noon,
Yes.
Councilmember Salberg,
No.
Councilmember Quinn,
No.
Vice President Sackett,
Yes.
President Jackson.
Yes.
We have 4 yeses, 5 noes, motion doesn't carry.
Okay.
Mr. Sackett, you have confirmation where she lives?
It's not my responsibility to have her
You're
where she
making a motion
lives.
for somebody that's not a resident. That is your
It's not
responsibility.
my responsibility.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Saget.
All right. Now we're gonna vote on, well,
We're just
gonna
leave it
vote on
as is.
Roic then. Yep, so we're gonna now vote on, C, zoning board of adjustment, full member, unexpired 4-year term, ending 12/31/21, Susan Roic. Roic, sorry.
I'll make the motion. Second.
Councilmember Brooks?
Yes.
Councilmember Friedlander?
Yes.
Councilmember Kelly?
No.
Councilmember Kritz?
Yes.
Councilmember Noon?
Yes.
Councilmember Salberg?
Yes.
Councilmember Quinn?
Yes.
Vice President Sackett?
Yes.
President Jackson?
Yes.
We have 8 yeses, 1 no, motion carries.
Just gonna congratulate. Okay, 22,
Council President, can I be recognized real quick?
real quick.
On 22, we have council president appointments, and this was on an agenda that was prepared, I think, and submitted to all of us on Friday last week.
Mhm.
Did you put all the names on this?
I worked on it, yeah.
But you were the council president at the time?
He was.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome. 22, council president appointments, council liaisons, 1-year term ending 12/31/20. Board of Ed Regional, Douglas Brooks. Board of Ed Local, Joseph Jackson. Citizens Rec Committee, Jonathan Sackett, Jack Quinn alternate. Freeholders, Adam Sahlberg, Howard Kritz alternate. Library Board of Trustees, Emmanuel Friedlander, Joseph Jackson alternate. Historical Society, Emmanuel Friedlander. Municipal Alliance, Emmanuel Friedlander. Morris County on Older Persons, Mary Noon and Howard Kritz. Senior Citizens, Jack Quinn, Adam Sahlberg alternate. Need a motion?
Motion.
Second.
You don't need a motion.
Right, sorry, you don't need to vote. All right, B, council committees, 1-year term ending 12/31/20, Local Emergency Council, Douglas Brooks Chair, Adam Sahlberg, Howard Kritz. Ordinance Committee, Jack Quinn Chair, Emmanuel Friedlander, Mary Noon. Vehicle Review Committee, Jack Quinn Chair, Emmanuel Friedlander, Jonathan Sackett. Okay, 23, appointments requiring resolution. Council A, council appointments. 1, R-20-12, resolution approving the Rockaway Township Fire Department officers. And then 2, R-20-21, resolution approving local emergency planning committee for the Township of Rockaway.
So moved.
Second.
Just to be clear, we are voting on them individually?
Mhm.
Okay.
So 2012 first?
Yes.
Yep.
Councilmember Brooks?
Yes.
Councilmember Friedlander?
Yes.
Councilmember Kelly?
Yes.
Councilmember Kritz?
Yes.
Councilmember Noon?
Yes.
Councilmember Salberg?
Yes.
Councilmember Quinn?
Yes.
Vice President Sackett?
Yes.
President Jackson?
Yes.
We have 9 yeses, motion carries.
We need a motion, a second for R-20-21.
I make the motion.
I second.
If you could just hold,
Councilmember,
if you could just hold on a roll call, I just want to look at one quick thing for that resolution.
Start the roll call.
There you go. Never mind, thank you.
Councilmember Brooks?
Thank you.
Doug? 2021.
Yes.
Yes.
I thought we were looking at it still.
Councilmember Friedlander?
Yes.
Councilmember Kelly?
Yes.
Councilmember Noon?
Yes.
Councilmember Kritz?
Yes.
Councilmember Salberg?
Yes.
Councilmember Quinn?
Yes.
Vice President Sackett?
Yes.
President Jackson?
Yes.
9 yeses, motion carries.
Next is B, mayor's appointment with advice and consent of the council. Mr. Mayor, would you like to read them, or you want me to? Okay. The first one is R 20-19, resolution to appoint Lisa Palmieri, Chief Financial Officer to the Morris County Joint Insurance Fund Commissioner, and Patricia Seeger, Assistant Business Administrator, as the alternate commissioner through 2023. Yeah. Any motion, a second?
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
Councilmember Brooks?
Yes.
Councilmember Friedlander?
Yes.
Councilmember Kelly?
Yes to Ms. Palmieri, no to Mrs. Seeger.
Mr.
Just-
Kelly,
it's
it's
a
a
no.
resolution.
It's
We
a no.
can't vote individually.
We'll do an abstention. Just want to make it clear for the
Abstention.
record.
It doesn't need to be on the record.
It does.
Councilmember Chris?
Yes.
Councilmember Noon?
Yes.
Councilmember Salberg?
Yes.
Councilmember Quinn?
Yes.
Vice President Sackett?
Yes.
President Jackson?
Yes.
We have 8 yeses, 1 abstention, motion carries.
R 20-20, resolution approving emergency management coordinator, first deputy and second deputy for the Township of Rockaway. Need a motion, a second?
So moved.
I'll second it.
Councilmember Brooks?
Yes.
Councilmember Friedlander?
Yes.
Councilmember Kelly?
No.
Councilmember Chris?
Yes.
Councilmember Noon?
Yes.
Councilmember Salberg?
Yes.
Councilmember Quinn?
Yes.
Vice President Sackett?
Yes.
President Jackson?
Yes.
We have 8 yeses, 1 no, motion carries.
Next is 24, approval of minutes of the December 10th, 2019 regular meeting.
I make the motion.
Second.
Councilmember Brooks?
Yes.
Councilmember Friedlander?
Yes.
Councilmember Kelly?
No.
Councilmember Chris?
Abstain.
Councilmember Noon?
Yes.
Councilmember Salberg?
Abstain.
Councilmember Quinn?
Yes.
Vice President Sackett?
Yes.
President Jackson?
Yes. Next,
We
got
have
it.
6 yeses, 1 no, 2
Two noes.
abstention,
Oh, yeah, 2%.
motion carries.
Okay, number 25, motion to affirm the 2020 annual meeting schedule. Do I have to read that before we do the motion? Second?
Whoever's going to make the motion should read it.
Okay,
I'll make the motion.
you gotta read that.
The council hereby affirms the annual meeting schedule passed by resolution R 19-204 at the council meeting of November 26th, back in the last decade, 2019.
I'll second it.
Councilmember Brooks?
Yes.
Councilmember Friedlander?
Yes.
Councilmember Kelly?
Yes.
Councilmember Chris?
Yes.
Councilmember Noon?
Yes.
Councilmember Salberg?
Yes.
Councilmember Quinn?
Yes.
Vice President Sackett?
Yes.
President Jackson?
Yes.
We have 9 yeses, motion carries.
Next is open to the public. First on the list, David Press.
Dave Press, 71 Oakland Avenue. I want to say Happy New Year to all of you, and congratulations to our new council members. Congratulations to revised council leadership. I want to say most of the dark cloud over us has now been lifted. We know you'll make us proud to be citizens of Rockaway Township. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, Lisa Salberg.
Lisa Salberg, 10 Bergen Hill. Somebody on the council gave me a cold. Guess who it is?
I'm guessing Mr.
That was
Friedlander.
awesome. Thank you. But no. You got me on that, Manny. That was good. I want to say congratulations to those who ran in the last election and were successful in their endeavors for running a clean, honest, and factual campaign. And I hope that politics are over and governance has begun, and that we can all agree to have some spirited debates on what's best for Rockaway Township and move forward in a positive and productive manner. So thank you all for serving, and thank you all for what will be a very difficult year of work ahead of you. And I get Tuesday nights off once in a while in a quiet house, so thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Stegman?
Pat Degnan, 88 Valley View Drive. I kind of want to echo what has been said before. I wish all the new council and the mayor a happy, prosperous, and healthy new year.
Thank you. I think I speak for everybody too. Thank you for all the work you do with the candidate nights and all that. It's really appreciated. Does a lot for the community. Mr. Lardy?
Michael Lardy, 19 North Brookside Drive. I know it's been brought up a couple of times. I know our site manager at White Meadow Lake has been bringing it to the council and the administration's attention that there's grants available. I just want to make sure everybody stays on top of that because it's very short notice with some of those grants. The geese issue is a big issue. It was a contributing factor to the algae blooms in the lakes that were shut down last year. White Meadow Lake is allotting some money to address the geese problem, but we can't do it alone because Rockaway Township, you have Parks Lake, which is a big problem with the geese. Peterson Field's a big problem. But if we don't work as a team, it's not going to be effective. We're going to be kind of spending money, and it's going to be wasted if the geese are still here and they fly over to us. So we really have to have you guys work on doing something about the geese problem also. I brought up in the past about how many White Meadow Lake residents there are, tax-paying citizens, that don't get things brought back into White Meadow Lake because we're a private community, such as a playground, or things like that, that gets done in other parts of the township. But it's a big piece of the township that contributes to the taxes where we don't get that in return. So I brought that up in the past. I know the budgets are being worked on. White Meadow Lake is working on doing another playground at the A field, replacing the one that's there. I don't know if there's some kind of in-kind work the township could provide, working with us, or something to contribute back to the taxpayers at White Meadow Lake. So it's something to think about. 14 Cayuga I brought up several times. It's been addressed, and now it looks like it's being flipped, so it's being totally repaired. So I thank the township for addressing the concerns with that. And also the bushes at Old Middletown and West Lakeshore were cut, so you can actually see cars coming over the hill now. So thanks for taking care of that. And I was wondering if there's any update on the bridge at Parks Lake, because originally it was like a 60-day project, but I don't think it's going to be.
Ms. Ferrante, do you have an update?
Yes, they're looking to deliver the structure middle of this month. It's targeted for January 15th. They're going to do bank stabilization and base repair and hopefully get that road open as soon as possible. They wouldn't do the top coat and the final stabilization until the weather it turns in their favor. So their goal is to get it open as soon as possible and then come back and do final stabilization. So the anticipated schedule is towards the end of January.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Mr.
Thank you all. Good luck.
Mr. Larry, I got one quick question.
You're not
for you.
recognized, no.
The,
Please sit
the
down.
cost, have you guys
Mr.
had any
Deo, you're
price
next,
costs at
please.
all for any of
Mr.
the geese
Kelly,
control?
please be quiet. You're not
whatsoever?
recognized. Do not speak if you're not recognized. Mr. Deo?
Thanks, Mr. Lardy.
Hey, Mike, thanks for not pulling it up.
Okay,
I also like to congratulate the new members to the council, and I wish you the best. and I wish everyone a very happy and successful new year. I do look forward to the council, the mayor, and the administration truly working together for the benefit of the residents of our township and to make our township affordable to live in the future. From past meetings, you that are on the council in the past may recall, and those that are new may be aware, that I have a keen interest in knowing how our township government functions. To that end, I am in a little bit of a quandary and perplexed. Agenda 9 is the appointment of President of the Council, which, as I understand it, is by a motion of the council and by a vote of the council members at a public meeting. Agenda 22 sets forth President of Council appointments. That's my quandary. If we don't know that Mr. Jackson is going to be president, how is it that Mr. Jackson was able to put together a listing of his appointments? Now, if he didn't put that together, my question is, who put it together? And should such an appointment not be posted on an agenda ahead of time? It gives me the impression that perhaps there's workings behind the scenes that is not fair to the public. I wish you well, Mr. Jackson.
I'll answer your question too when you're done.
But my quandary is how this could occur unless there was some workings on behind the scenes, which shouldn't be. And at some point in time, I would like to have an answer tonight with that.
Yeah, when you're done, I'll answer. Yep.
Excuse me?
When you're done, I'll answer, yes,
Thank
certainly.
you. Where's Mike? Where's the other Mike? Mike did a great job of chairing the first meeting of the Board of Assessment Commissioners in December.
Jim.
Jim, rather. I'm saying Mike. Jim. Sorry, Mike, Jim. I called him Mike at the meeting also. Jim. And at that meeting, my recollection is that Jim and the other members came up with a schedule of future meetings. So, not having a good memory at all times, I went on the website. I wanted to see when those meetings are. And lo and behold, I couldn't find a posting of the Board of Assessment Commissioners meetings that were scheduled at the last meeting.
Did you contact anybody at the town to ask him where you could get it?
Did I contact the town?
Yeah, you said it wasn't out there. You couldn't find something you needed?
No, I was looking for the schedule of the Board of Assessment Commissioners meetings.
That's what I'm asked. Did you try to maybe contact the clerk to see if she could provide it to you, or?
I did not know.
Okay.
No, Mr. Jackson, I did not contact Christina. Christina has always been extremely helpful.
Yeah.
But in my belief, that should not be a situation where the residents have to seek and find. If the Board of Assessment Commissioners properly scheduled meetings in the future, somewhere something fell through the cracks, but I would appreciate it getting posted on the
Go ahead,
website.
Mr. Dio, we did discuss scheduling the next two meetings. Notice is being sent to the newspapers. Once the notice is confirmed, and I double-checked with administration today, the room is available, so everything is good to go. It was being posted this week.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
What's the date
Okay.
Tentatively
next one is
23rd.
January 23rd.
Sorry. You were there, it was tentatively the 23rd until it was confirmed.
Yeah.
And they're not gonna
Okay.
do a drawn-out schedule. It's
So in terms of the president appointments, right, they're the president's appointments, so it's not something that would go out to the public per se beforehand or anything like that. So I know Mr. Sackett had made some appointments when he was president, and I was council vice president, made me aware of them. When we got here tonight and I got voted in, I was very comfortable with the choices he had made.
No.
So if I wasn't comfortable with any of them, I would have changed them or made a motion to change them.
Is it normal then that
I don't know what's normal. This is my first time as council president, so I don't know what's normal or not normal. I just know that, I was comfortable with who, he had established as, his appointments. Yeah, no problem.
Appreciate your answer.
Absolutely.
Don't necessarily agree, but I appreciate
That's
it.
fine, yeah, no problem. Mr. Waters, Mike.
Yeah, Patrick, why didn't you put the microphone back up here? We gotta compromise on this. Yeah. That works better. There we go. Brand new council, council president, vice president, administration, blue team, long-suffering taxpayers of Rockaway Township. I think we've started a new year here. It's been the theme everyone has been reflecting on. I have to say, when I showed up tonight, I thought we were either at Christmas or Easter at my church because the parking lot was full. And then just after the collection was taken, everybody left.
Everybody left. Yeah, that's it. The communion.
Anyway, we got there. In the spirit of Mayor Puzio and Rabbi Henson, I had some comments that I'm not going to make tonight because I think we can postpone those for a while. I would just ask one of our council people if they could make a conscientious effort to turn their microphone off when they are not using it, even if they are in anticipation of making comments. Councilman Kelly? Could you turn your mic off, please?
Yes, Mr. Walters.
Does it irritate you that much?
Mr. Walters,
Well, when you listen to this...
it's not worth it. It's not worth getting into. Okay.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm not going to comment on the obvious continuation of petty vendettas here, but to the extent
Displayed by
they
you as well,
continue
Mr.
this year,
Waters.
to the
I
extent they
recognize Mr. Kelly.
continue
Please
this
be
year,
quiet.
I am going to take my 5 minutes of fame, as it were. I yield the rest of my time to the recalcitrant congressman, our council person. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Waters. Mr. Bogasat?
Good evening, and I want to wish everyone a healthy new year. I'm Charlie Bogasat. I live at 24 North Lakeshore Drive. And this evening, I'd like to reference emails about grants that I've been sending some of you council members, as well as some town officials. And the first grant that I want to reference is the Hobbs grant for the harmful algae blooms. So the state has set aside some money for that. And the lakes in the township do have to spend money or suffer these algae blooms. So prior to my sending that email with the helpful links, one of the links was from the EPA showing you how water flows through the township. I called Jay Springer's office of the DEP after reading the documents that I sent you. And I asked Jay, someone from Jay's office, is it appropriate for the township to apply for grants that would be spent on projects to help private lakes within the township? And they told me that it was. So, for example, White Meadow Lake receives a lot of algae downstream from the mill pond, Mount Hope Lake, not to be confused with Mount Hope Pond. But actually, Mount Hope Pond flows into Mount Hope Lake, which flows into White Meadow Lake. And once you can just refer to that EPA site, which is really kind of neat, the way you can zoom out and zoom in and get variations of water flow arrows, et cetera, to understand what I'm talking about. So White Meadow Lake, and that stream alone, every year spends over $3,000 to try to stop the algae from going down that stream. Tilcon has been a good neighbor, and they put a boom on the outlet of Mount Hope Pond, not Mount Hope Pond, but Mount Hope Lake. But despite the efforts of White Meadow Lake spending all that money in that one little stream, not to say that White Meadow Lake spends another over $21,000 on lake management to to prevent the algae blooms in our lake or to keep them under control. And Steve Riley of Tilcon is always a welcoming neighbor. He always wants to help us. But this is beyond White Meadow Lake. This is beyond Tilcon. This is beyond all the lakes in the township. The lakes in the township need some help in the watershed. So these grants, they came up kind of fast. I'm like a private citizen, so I'm not really attuned to, following what's available in the county, nor what's available in the state, or nor what's available in the federal government. But I was hoping that our government would be attuned to, staying attuned to that. So, for example, there's $2.5 million in lake management grants. In other words, that would refer to the monies. Just to give an example, I'm not asking for just help for White Meadow Lake. I'm asking for help for all the lakes in the township. But I'm familiar with White Meadow Lake, so I'll use that as an example. That $2.5 million in Hobb Lakes management grants, that would apply to the money that we're spending in that stream between Mount Hope Pond and White Meadow Lake. Then there's another grant for watershed planning grants. So once again, there's all kinds of streams in White Meadow Lake that need to be addressed. And my experience decades ago, it was so easy to motivate, and Manny is my witness, it's so easy to motivate the state to give us money for these grants, because if you follow that EPA site that I gave you, all this water in our watershed at Rockaway Township ends up in the Jersey City Reservoir in Parsippany. So that's basically how we motivated the township and the federal government to assist us. So I know there's a short deadline by the 13th. So that's why when I sent you that email, I also copied Chris, who's the president of Princeton Hydro, because I know that Princeton Hydro works with the township. So I figured everybody would be on board, ASP, and perhaps we can slam together a quick grant application. My other grant that I'm applying for, that I spoke briefly about the last time, is the Highlands grant. And basically, that would deal with geese management. So the problem with geese management is White Meadow Lake has tried everything, spends a lot of money, and in terms of labor of our staff, idling geese eggs, etc. And we've tried a bunch of activities to try to chase the geese away. The problem is, in the middle of the summer, White Meadow Lake has 60 geese. But when we go look for nests in White Meadow Lake, we only have 2 nests in White Meadow Lake. And when Steve Riley welcomes us into Mount Hope Lake, we again only find 3 nests there. The geese, but in the middle of the summer, we have 60 geese, causing us to close our beaches down 2 years ago for a quarter of the season. The solution is we've got to deal with the large flocks of geese elsewhere in the township that then fly into the lake areas in the middle of the summer. So that's why a couple of weeks ago, I basically sent to the township and copied a couple of council people also on how to manage geese, through the APHIS, and the USDA. There's basically, they do geese roundups for like $5,000. They'll round up like up to 60 geese for you. And I also sent you the link to the website where you can apply for a permit like we do to idle geese eggs. So now, idling geese eggs that started in White Meadow Lake has expanded to Mount Hope Lake, welcoming by Tilcon, and has expanded to the school board, where we're going to be idling eggs at Copeland Pond in front of the school. So I would like, and I would hope that the township, like White Meadow Lake, like Tilcon, and like the Board of Ed, would participate in idling geese eggs this spring. But in order to do that, you've got to register soon. You can't wait until the month of March to register for that, to get that permit. So that's why I sent you the link to that website. That's why I sent you a copy of our contract with HDS in terms of rounding up the geese.
Thank you for all that. So, Ms. Ferrante, do you have any updates on any of the grants or?
Yes. Thank you for recognizing the importance of watershed management and all the grant opportunities that are out there to help municipalities. Because as you say, it's a wide problem. It's diverse, and it's township wide, it's regional wide, and so we've got to attack it as such. We've got to have a plan in place and identify the sources of pollutants. I've been working with various members of our administration and the council to discuss which avenues is the best way to devote our resources to attack these multiple front problems that face our watershed. So we are on top of it, and we are,
So, no disrespect to
Okay.
you, Allison, but when you say that you're on top of it, my question is, what concrete steps have been taken since my first emails have gone out? You know, like, for example,
Have you, Mr. Bogus, have you
Yes.
contacted Ms. Ferrante and had a one-on-one conversation with
I
her?
email her.
I know sometimes things take, emails are lengthy. Sometimes it's a little bit easier if you give her a call, give Pat a call, and there can be some dialogue.
So
Yes.
specifically, we have had conversations.
We have.
With Prince, can I finish?
Yes.
Okay. With Princeton Hydro, as well as the Highlands Council, and discussed strategies for the township to attack this problem. And the most efficient use of our resources, both private lakes and public lakes.
If I may.
Sure.
The reason I send emails is because it's better than playing telephone tag with people. So, and I assume that all of you, like myself, rather receive an email that I can open at my convenience, at my time. And anybody that's ever received an email from me, some of you in the council, realize that as an ex-teacher, I basically set those emails up pretty easy to understand, with plenty of white space between concepts. So, yeah, you know what? I would welcome the opportunity to sit down, because it feels like this. It feels that those of us who are running the lakes are in one room, the township is in another room. Those of us with the actual experience of dealing with the algae and know the ground of the watershed, who walk the watershed, are sending emails to the township, but we're not getting any responses. And you know what?
Right.
These things are a timely manner.
Yep.
If we're talking about this Hobbs thing, has to be filed by the 13th.
So, like, Ms. Seeger, Ms. Ferrante, if you could try and set up a meeting with them, with Mr. Bogusat, see when he might have some time, shoot him an email with some dates and times that you're free.
Yeah, I encourage emails.
Yeah.
I just encourage both.
Yeah.
Email with because I received your email. I spoke to Allison about it. I'm not going to get into it. It'll take, I was on the phone with her an hour and a half the other day about that. So I did get an email. I read it. I went through it. I saw there were time constraints. I looked at it at the bottom. You can, some of the other councilmen saw my concerns, but I'm just saying a combination of both works good. Instead, just get together, call Ms. Seeger, call Allison. They'll gladly set up a time with you to go over the particulars of the email and explain, what proactive steps are being taken.
I'm all for communication. Like, I never got responses from my emails. Manny responded, but I didn't get any responses from the township.
I responded.
Yeah, John, yeah, that's right. I'm sorry, Jack, and I'm sorry, Jonathan. But I didn't get anything from the township. I mean, I want to communicate. I want to resolve these problems. I want to take advantage of these grants, because rather than the money coming out of my pocket as a taxpayer, I'd like to see the money come from a grant.
I agree. So next
Thank
step is going to be, we're going to try and get you together with Ms. Ferrante and Ms. Seeger, and you guys get to explore those opportunities.
Thank you.
Mr. Jackson, I have a quick question with Mr. Bogusat and Mrs. Ferrante.
No, you're not recognized.
Thank you.
Sandra
Mrs. Ferrante,
Rubalata, you're next.
Have you
Ms.
checked
Ferrante,
around with
I don't want you
other?
answering the question.
He doesn't
He's not
control you, Ms.
recognized.
Ferrante.
I
Have
control
other-
you,
Have
so
you
close
asked
your
other
mouth.
municipalities?
Go ahead, Ms. Rubalata, you can speak.
Hello, and Happy New Year to all of you. I haven't been to a council meeting in many, many years, so it's kind of a first for me. I live at 7 Lakeview Road in Lake Telemark. I'm also a senior board member on the Lake Telemark Board of Directors. And basically, I'm here to ask for your help. I want to amplify what Mr. Bogasat said. I don't know as much as he knows about these grants, but I understand that the money will be, if applied for in a nick of time, which is by Monday at 5 o'clock, the money would come to the township and then be delegated to different lakes. Lake Telemark is a small lake. We have 400, possibly 400 residents, and we're in a transitional state of going from voluntary to mandatory dues, and it's very difficult to do even the most basic maintenance of our lake. So we would need cleanup, algae blooms, algae remediation, vegetation remediation, all the things that, just to get that lake back into a decent swimmable area. But I just really want you to know that we need your help in so many ways, and we would like to be included for whatever grant could be possible for the, I believe, only 3 private lakes in Rockaway, but we're probably the most needy. So thank you for your time and cooperation.
Thank you for your time. That's the last member of the public that signed up. Does anybody else want to speak? Okay, with that, we'll move on to 27 ordinances to introduce. A020-01, an ordinance of the Township of Rockaway in the County of Morris, New Jersey, providing for various capital improvements for the Township of Rockaway and appropriating $2,654,000, therefore, and providing for the issuance of $1,803,771,000 in general improvement bonds or notes of the Township of Rockaway to finance the same.
Discussion on that, Council
Make a
President?
motion.
Discussion for that, Council
So
President?
moved.
Discussion for that, Council President.
Make a motion.
Second.
Council President, it's for introduction. There ordinarily is no discussion upon introduction.
Okay, so we have
Is this going to be retroactive for last year?
we have a motion and a second, so we can take the roll call.
And we don't even have an approved budget to where we're actually doing a capital budget now for
Yes,
the
Jonathan.
capital plan. How do you vote on something like that? I'm sorry, Mr. Walters, what was that?
Guys, go ahead, take the roll call.
Councilmember Brooks?
Yes.
Councilmember Friedlander?
Yes.
Councilmember Kelly?
No.
Councilmember Fritz?
Yes. Go ahead, mimic it,
Councilmember
Mr.
Noon?
Jackson, mimic it.
Yes.
Councilmember Salberg?
Yes.
Councilmember Quinn?
Yes.
Vice President Sackett?
Yes.
President Jackson?
Yes.
We have 8 yeses, 1 no. Motion carries.
Okay, B, 020-02. I'm not gonna read the whole thing, so. Oh, I have to, okay. An ordinance of the Township of Rockaway in the County of Morris, New Jersey, providing for the acquisition of computers and networking equipment for the Department of Information and Technology, including all structures, work equipment, and materials necessary therefore or incidental thereto from the reserve for information technology acquisitions and appropriating $100,000 thereof, therefore.
And I make the motion.
Second. Second.
That's okay.
Councilmember Brooks?
Yes.
Councilmember Friedlander?
Yes.
Councilmember Kelly?
Yes.
Councilmember Fritz?
Yes.
Councilmember Noon?
Yes.
Councilmember Salberg?
Yes.
Councilmember Quinn?
Yes.
Vice President Sackett?
Yes.
President Jackson?
Yes.
We have 9 yeses, motion carries.
C, 020-03, amending Article 51 and Article 52 of the Township of Rockaway Fire Department Rules and Regulations.
Make a motion?
Second.
Councilmember Brooks?
Yes.
Councilmember Friedlander?
Yes.
Councilmember Kelly?
Yes.
Councilmember Fritz?
Yes.
Councilmember Noon?
Yes.
Councilmember Salberg?
Yes.
Councilmember Quinn?
Yes.
Vice President Sackett?
Yes.
President Jackson?
Yes.
9 yeses, motion carries.
D 020-04, repealing Chapter 2, Financial Review Board of the Revised General Ordinances of the Rockaway Township in its entirety.
So moved.
I'll second.
Councilmember Brooks?
Yes.
Councilmember Friedlander?
Yes.
Councilmember Kelly?
This is definitely a mistake. No.
Councilmember Fritz?
Yes.
Councilmember Noon?
Yes.
Councilmember Salver?
Yes.
Councilmember Quinn?
Yes.
Vice President Sackett?
Yes.
President Jackson?
Yes. It was Jonathan.
Sorry, we have 8 yeses, 1 no,
Yep.
motion carries.
E 0-20-05, repealing Chapter 2, Environmental Commission of the Revised General Ordinances of the Township of Rockaway in their entirety.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion we can take on this, Council President?
No, this is just being introduced.
It would save a lot of time.
Councilmember Brooks?
Abstain.
Councilmember Friedlander?
Yes.
Councilmember Kelly?
No.
Councilmember Fritz?
Yes.
Councilmember Noon?
Yes.
Councilmember Salber?
Yes.
Councilmember Quinn?
Yes.
Vice President Sackett?
Yes.
President Jackson?
Yes.
We have 7 yeses, 1 no, 1 abstention, motion carries.
F 0-20-06, ordinance amending Article 4, Chapter 2-5, Rules of Procedure, Meetings of the Council, subsection 2-5.4, Public Meetings of the Revised General Ordinances of the Township of Rockaway.
So moved.
I'll second it.
Jonathan.
Councilmember Brooks?
Yes.
Councilmember Friedlander?
Yes.
Councilmember Kelly?
Yes.
Councilmember Fritz?
Yes.
Councilmember Noon?
Yes.
Councilmember Salber?
Yes.
Councilmember Quinn?
Yes.
Vice President Sackett?
Yes.
President Jackson?
Yes.
We have 9 yeses, motion carries.
So, next is the consent agenda. Number 28, I'd like to remind everybody in the council, we'll be voting on a block, so you're voting on the entire consent agenda, either yes or no. A is R20-01, B is R20-02, C is R20-03, D is R20-04, R is -20-05, F R-20-06, G R-20-07, H R-20-08, I R-20-09, J R-20-10, K R-20-11, L R-20-13, M R-20-14, N R-20-15, O R-20-16, R R-20-17, Q R-20-18, R R-20-22, S R-20-23, T R-20-26, U R-20-27, V R-20-28, W R-20-29.
Council President, make a motion to remove A for discussion and to vote on afterwards.
Is there a second? Motion doesn't carry. You can take the roll call.
I need a motion. Second.
Oh, motion is second.
Motion.
I'll second that.
Sorry.
Councilmember Brooks?
Yes.
Councilmember Friedlander?
Yes.
Councilmember Kelly?
Abstain.
Councilmember Fritz?
Yes.
Councilmember Noon?
Yes.
Councilmember Salber?
Yes.
Councilmember Quinn?
Yes.
Vice President Sackett?
Yes.
President Jackson?
Yes.
We have 8 yeses, 1 abstention, motion carries.
Next is 29, old business. We're going to start with A, which is R-20-24, a resolution re-ratifying and affirming certain actions of the Rockaway Township Council on September 24th, 2019.
Council President, discussion on that?
Make a motion?
I'll make the
Motion
motion.
for discussion?
Anybody want to
We got
second
some
the motion?
discussion on old business. We always talk about old business. It's a simple
Anyone want a
question.
second? There's no second. We want a motion on this?
I make a motion to approve.
Second.
How do you vote if the members were not part of the council of 2019?
You're not recognized,
to vote
Mr.
now?
Kelly.
How do you vote?
Go ahead and
There
take
needs
the
to be
roll
some
call.
clarification of the vote that's possible from the new elected individuals.
Take
You
the roll
can't
call.
move forward without some clarification
Please
with
stop
that.
talking.
Councilmember Brooks,
Yes.
Councilmember Friedlander,
Yes.
Councilmember Kelly,
Abstain.
Councilmember Fritz,
Yes.
Councilmember Noon,
Yes.
Councilmember Sauber,
Yes.
Councilmember Quinn,
Yes.
Vice President Sackett,
Yes.
President Jackson.
Yes.
We have 8 yeses, 1 abstention, motion carries.
Any other old business? Not, we'll move on to 30, new business.
I have new business.
Go ahead, Mr. Kelly, you're recognized.
Under new business, there was a couple of residents that came to me in the Fleetwood area. I actually own property in Fleetwood that's borders over Peterson Field. And there's been some discussion that's been passing along that removal of trees, Mrs. Ferrante, over in the northeast section of Peterson Field that borders up towards Edith and Queens, the end of Queens. Can you tell me about the tree removal that's taking place?
In the residential neighborhood? In the residential portion?
I don't know, Mr. Brooks, you want to help out on that?
Not aware of anything at this moment.
No discussion at all about cutting trees down with any of the members of the rec, or?
We discussed the project that we're looking to present to the community, but
That's what I mean, there's some discussion about cutting trees down, which is a natural light and sound buffer over there by the Route 80 area. We did a massive amount of clearing back way when. Can you enlighten me on the new business of clearing? It's not.
Basically, I can say that myself, Mr. Sackett, and the rest of the people in the citizens, actually, the Parks and Recreation Committee, we presented a plan to the program heads for their input. And at this time, I'm hoping to move a project at some point forward, but other than that, this is best I can give you as an answer.
Ms. Ferrante, do you have any of those plans?
There's no movement right now.
Well, I'm asking a question. Is there any, Mrs. Ferrante,
There's no movement right now.
have you reviewed any of the plans, Mrs. Ferrante?
Send us an email as to what you want.
Well, you just talked about having verbal conversations.
I just explained to you, there's no trees being removed at this point.
But is there a plan that you reviewed? Mr. Brooks had said,
You asked about trees particularly.
he said that there was a plan.
You asked about trees, there's no trees being.
Mrs. Ferrante, is there a plan that you reviewed about tree cutting?
Ms. Ferrante, don't answer him right now. I just gave him a correct answer.
You're not the engineer, Mr. Mayor.
So you can move on to your next item. They answered the question.
They didn't answer the question.
They answered it the way
They
they
didn't
want to
answer the
answer
question.
it. They didn't give the answer you wanted.
Did
They
you
answered the
review
question.
a plan, Council President?
No, they
Okay,
answered the
that's all.
question.
No, that's good.
Yeah.
I have no more new business.
Okay. Anybody else with new business?
Yes. I'd like to ask administration to look into, looking at a grant writer for this municipality. I know other towns have had it. It works well. I know Denville's using it. I know Dover used it. I would ask administration to please look into it, and hopefully we can solve a lot of this, and get more money back to us. All right?
Mr. Quinn, that's a great idea.
Take that
If
into
I could just
consideration.
cap on top of that. Mrs. Ferrante, do we have any grant writers or anybody that's written grants now?
Is there any other, do you have any new business?
We're-
Other than that, no, I'm done.
I'm just
Thank
following
Anybody
up
else
with
have
the
new business?
I do.
Mr. Salber? No, you already said you were
No,
done.
I'm not done.
You're done now. Go ahead, Mr. Salber.
No, I don't, thank you.
Okay.
Mrs.
Next is
Ferrante?
reports, 31, council reports. We'll start with Mr. Quinn.
Well, I hope everybody had a great Christmas, New Year's, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, whatever you celebrate. A healthy, happy, and safe one. And I am really looking forward to servicing the residents of Rockaway Township the way they deserve and not going through 2 years of nothing. So thank God we are moving forward and going ahead. Thank you all. Have a great day.
Mr. Friedlander?
Ditto with what Councilman Quinn said about the new year. Looking forward for a prosperous one. Just two quick things. Anybody want to know about the library? It's open. Okay, took a while, but that was accomplished. And then my little committee that I adore so much, the Historical Society. Keep on telling people, go to some of these meetings. Last night they had a presentation about the ski areas that were in New Jersey and about the 1920s and 30s and Craigmere. Who would have thought in the 60s I was skiing in Craigmere, and 25 years later I'd live right down the block from it. So, anybody wants to join, there's clubs all over that you can ski and snowboard. 80th anniversary. And also, if you want to come to the 23rd, right here in this building, they got a silent movie about the blowing up of Lake Denmark, the ammunitions that happened back then. That's history. I mean, it's Rockaway Township. So come on down. That's it.
But you won't hear the blow up because it's a silent movie.
Thank you. Mr. Friedlander, my wife better not start coughing later. I'm just letting you know that. Mr. Salberg? Mr. Salberg, go ahead.
Yeah, I just want to thank everyone to give me the opportunity to serve the town that I've lived my whole life. I feel there's a very positive change here. 5 new people that all are here with the best of intentions, that really just want the best for all of us. So it's an honor to be here, honor to serve you. Please, being at large, I want to hear from everyone. And A. Salberg at rockawaytownship.org, please let me hear and let me try to make a difference in your lives. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Noon?
Just want to wish everybody a happy new year, and I'm looking forward to 2020. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Brooks?
Thank you. I just wanted to congratulate Barbara Levy. She is now going to be the new current president of the Mars Hills Regional School Board, as well as James Napolitano, who will be he's filling my seat for the year. So I just wanted to congratulate both of them, and also just wanted to let the seniors know that I will be looking into some hopefully some improvements with the county on for Mount Hope Ave that need some desired improvements. So thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Kritz?
I want to thank everybody for their support through the election. I look forward to working with all members of council in pushing forward in the new year. Thanks, Pat. My email now works. For those, hkritz@rockawaytownship.org. Again, at large, anybody in the town, looking forward to hearing any concerns you may have. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Kelly?
I have a couple of things. I'll try to make it quick, but I just want to make mention of some of the members of the community that had passed away from the last council meeting that we had. Some of you may not know it, and I know that Mr. Kritz, your involvement with the Rockets, you may not know, but there was a gentleman by the name of Lionel Frank. And Mr. Frank raised his children over in the DeHart Avenue area over by Stewart's Hot Dog, if people know that, in Dickerson Florist area. And he was the second decade coach after the inception of the Rockets in 1959. And he was a great guy. When we have a bunch of coaches that we've had in the Rockets or any other programs that are there, you always usually kind of say the name coach. Like like Ken Walters, we talk about Coach Kenny or Coach Hugh and stuff like that. He was an unbelievable individual that was there, and he had passed on Christmas Eve. His son still resides in White Meadow Lake, and his 2 other daughters are outside of the Rockaway Township area or the state of New Jersey. But in the late 70s and the 80s, he was just an unbelievable guy, and he should be deeply missed on that. I also want to make a mention, we had another pillar in the community that touched a lot of people throughout Rockaway Township, even outside of Rockaway Township, and that would be a Christopher O'Connor. Christopher O'Connor was 54, battled cancer. His father was a deputy here in Rockaway Township, Joe O'Connor, who has a field dedicated to him over at the school board building off of Green Pond Road in the Hibernia area. Christopher left behind his 6 siblings that he had there, as well as his mother, Colleen, and his 3 daughters that he has, 2 that live over in the Telemark area. He was an electrician for 30 years, had his own business for 24, OC Electric, and that was a guy that no matter what, always would help and do something for somebody without even being asked. So that's somebody that should be definitely recognized as well. And then one last person to mention, unfortunate again, was Anthony D'Amico. Anthony D'Amico lived in Telemark as well, over on Megan's, and Mr. D'Amico was 73 years young, had a battle of cancer, unfortunately, he wasn't successful with. He was a 20-year volunteer in Hibernia Firehouse. He was a great guy with appliances, copiers, and printing and stuff like that, and he died this morning. So that's something else that we can put in our prayers for those individuals that were a great component within our community of Rockaway Township. I attended on the 1st of January, the installation dinner. I want to just do congratulations again to Chief Aragona and Deputy Chief Jim Russo, and all the officers as well as that they appointed. They're a great bunch of men that and women that volunteer their time. I think the mayor said it pretty good at the installation dinner about they're always there, no matter what, 24/7, 365, and don't complain. And I hope that we can support them a lot. Not only just personally, but also maybe financially when it comes to budget time. I also want to make one more mention on something else. There's going to be Military and Law Enforcement Appreciation Night, and it's a hockey game with Morris Knowles versus Mendham at Menon Arena, and it's Saturday the 18th at 8:15 p.m. So if those that would like to attend and come support not only our high school, but our law enforcement and military. They have them before, they're pretty cool to go. It's great bringing kids there, seeing all the military, as well as the police, so.
Mr. Keller, can you say the date again?
That would be January 18th of this year, and it would be at 8:15 at Menon Arena.
At Menon?
Yeah, it's a good time. I was a hockey player in Knowles, and we have a police officer that's on the PBA team here, and we also have a coach. I think Kepler still coaches for the program too. Another great guy, great hockey player too. I addressed the issue with the new business that about the trees. One thing that I had asked Council President, and I wish he would give me some time, allow me to participate in these meetings, especially under OTMA. My question that I had was that if we have new members of this governing body, since we're not a continuous board, can those members actually vote on matters from the year before that they weren't involved with? That was the one question that was just something really simple that our legal counsel could answer to minimize any potential litigation moving forward.
From you?
Well, you know, Mr. Jackson,
I'm just asking.
It could be from anybody.
Okay.
You know, you're part of litigation too.
Do you have anything else to
And
report?
that was a question that could that be answered to see if in fact.
Do you have anything else to report?
I do.
Okay,
But
so
I'm
go
asking, is that something? I don't want to have a debate with you. I'm only asking a
I'm not
simple
debating.
question.
Just move on.
Is that something that we can have an answer so we can move forward?
Move on to your next item.
We have an ordinance here, which is 20-01, for the movement of $2.6 million. Now, we were going through with this capital ordinance, Mr. Jackson, Council President, with regard to that last year. And it was an argument over $400,000 for the basketball court. And there was really no wriggle room because we were going to put it on for referendum for a vote on that for August 16th of last year, which never happened. Here we are now in the beginning of the year before any budget has actually been passed. Discussions of any budget have only been one meeting with no numbers that are there. Mrs. Palmieri, I mean, do we know or have any certification that we have this $2.6 million that we can spend without a budget even being completed? No? Okay. But we have $2.6 million before the budget's even done. And here we are voting on that because of an error, Mr. Jackson, that you and Mr. Sackett participated in.
Right.
And we're moving forward with that.
Sure. Yep.
Now, the other thing is that, and I'll make this on the last end of it, moving forward. Council President, you have your appointments on section 22 of this agenda. I get your dislike from me. That's fine. You show it very greatly in your emails as well as verbally, and that's fine. I don't know you to dislike you. However, the political aspect that you portray is kind of a little uncomfortable in a sense.
Is
Excuse
this
me.
a report?
It is. It is my report. I'm
This
reporting-
isn't a report.
It
though.
is.
You're
Don't tell me
making
about my
commentary.
report.
But you're making commentary. It's not a report.
So
We're
the
not
problem is
here
that we
to
have
discuss
here,
me and
Mr. If you don't interrupt me, I'll be wrapped up pretty quick.
Okay, pretty quick.
So Council, excuse me, Mr. Press. So Council President, your appointments, you have everybody that's on there. Now, just for the record, on my report, I donate my salary every single year to the library. It benefits children and everything that goes on there, as well as some of the materials there. I also provided a storage facility for them that was going to be damaged, we repurposed, right? Save them a lot of money.
Yep.
You know that I have a passion for the library. You don't put me on a library committee. That's one thing. You have everybody that's on there. It's obvious that there was some conversations amongst others to vote in favor for these appointments that you had prior to you being a council president. You want to say that it was Mr. Sackett that did it. It's not true. Well, here we go down to one thing. We have the Vehicle Review Committee. I have over 35 years of experience in vehicles, cars, trucks, commercial equipment, and industrial equipment. I'm a machinist by trade, excuse me.
Yeah, go ahead.
Fabricator, welder,
Yep.
mechanic of all sorts.
Yep.
Anything that I can. The individuals that you have here, the three people, collectively, don't have the knowledge that I had at 12 concerning all of this, and you leave me out of that.
I
So
disagree
wait,
with you.
Just because you sell
Stop,
tires
stop.
doesn't make you anybody with
Stop.
knowledgeable about vehicles, and you know it.
Two things.
Yeah.
Number one, did you ask Mr. Sackett to be in any
Nobody
of those
asked
committees?
me. Why wouldn't you put me on
Did you
there?
ask Mr. Sackett to be in any of those committees? Answer the question. You always say that.
No, I never
You
spoke to
didn't
Mr.
ask.
Sackett.
You didn't ask.
We don't have
Okay.
communication.
Number two, Mr. Knott, do we have any openings for mechanics up in your area? Because he's very experienced. Because that's,
No, maybe we'll get your son up there and get that
report's
experience
done.
going on.
All right, you got it.
We'll get your son a job over there.
You're done now. Okay, Mr. Sackett. Vice President Sackett.
I yield, thank you.
Okay. I want to say thank you to all who attended the Hanukkah celebration last decade on December 23rd. It was a fun event with lots of fun dancing. I hope everyone had a nice Hanukkah, Christmas, Kwanzaa, and all holidays that were celebrated. I want to also congratulate all from the Rockaway Township Fire Department. It was a pleasure to attend their swearing in on January 1st. I want to congratulate Shane Spiegelman on becoming an Eagle Scout as I attended his Eagle Scout Court of Honor on January 5th. He earned 26 merit badges on his way to becoming an Eagle Scout. I look forward to a bright future from Shane. Also want to congratulate Howard Kritz, Adam Sahlberg on their swearing in tonight and joining the council. Congratulations to Mary Noon, Joe Jackson, Doug Brooks, as well as Mayor Pusio on their swearing in as well. Also, congratulations to newly elected Council President Joe Jackson. I look forward to continue to work with him and moving things forward in Rockaway Township. Thank you.
Thank you. I just have a couple things. Since the last meeting, I attended the last Board of Ed meeting for Sue Salney, and a bunch of council members attended. Mr. Quinn, Mayor Pusnio. For those of you who don't know, Sue Salney was on the Board of Ed for 22 years and dedicated a lot of her life. And kind of when I got on the Board of Ed, took me under her wing and taught me a lot about public service and giving back. And she will be greatly missed on the Board of Education and to Rockaway Township. So, Sue, I know you're watching. We're going to miss you. Second, I also attended the fire officers installation at White Meadow Lake. Great group of volunteers. And who was the MC? I want him like doing my eulogy. That guy was great. He was hysterical. Yeah, he was hysterical. And so it was just great though to see such dedicated volunteers that risk their life every day to save our lives. You can't say enough about them. So with that said, we'll move on to more reports. Mayor.
I just want to remind the council, I want to wish everyone a happy new year, but I also want to remind the council, and new members, when an issue is brought to you by a resident, you can email the administration, you can call the administration. I would like everyone to go to Pat Seeger. She will farm out the issue. If it has something to do with engineering, she'll seek an answer from engineering. If it has something to do with roads, she'll seek an answer from roads. It has been working great for me over the past year. It helps her keep track. So if an issue comes up with algae, with geese, with roads, with bushes, and you're servicing your ward, push that information over to us as you have been doing, and Ms. Seeger will make sure that it gets answered.
Thank you.
I just want to remind everybody of that. Instead of contacting department heads directly, because then we can't keep track of what's
Right.
going on. There's too many moving parts. The information flows down and back up. It just makes it a little bit more concise for the town.
Makes
Thank
sense. Mr. Diachafano?
Thank you, Council President. Before I get to the easy part of my report, let me address some of the comments that have been made by Mr. Kelly concerning whether or not this council had the ability to take certain action that it took tonight. And I believe Mr. Kelly is referencing
Bless you.
the election of Councilman Brooks, the re-ratification of the actions taken at the September 24th, 2019 council meeting, and the reintroduction of a number of ordinances either introduced or passed at that meeting. I'm not going to give you my opinion per se because I'm quite familiar with the assessment that Mr. Kelly and his cohorts last year gave to my opinions. Thankfully, others didn't share that belief. I'm going to give you the opinion of Judge Minkowitz from his opinion of December 24th, 2019. A public body may subsequently take corrective or remedial action in conformity with the law. Such acts relate back and retroactively ratify the early action. The standard is that the re-ratification or reconsideration must be effected by a properly constituted council. As a result of this meeting tonight, this council has been properly constituted, and its actions in following the instructions of Judge Minkowitz in his opinion of December 24th are valid. Now, if I may, let me get back to the good part of the report. My thanks to Mayor Puzio for nominating our firm. This marks the start of our 7th year as township attorneys, and in my case, with my original position as special counsel to the township, I believe we're going on 15 years. I was 31 when I was first appointed. The last 2 years have aged me. I thank Mayor Puzio and the council who have voted for us as township attorneys for 2020. I also want to make a special note of thanks to Vice President Sackett. It was a distinct pleasure to work with him as council president. I found him to be intelligent, thoughtful, funny, and someone who was really concerned with working with the interests of the township and its residents. My thanks to the council. I look forward to working with the new members of the council, and I've enjoyed working with most of the old members throughout the last 2 years. Mostly, I'd like to thank the residents of Rockaway Township for their consistent support and efforts to effect good government in Rockaway Township. The results of those efforts are, for the most part, sitting on the dais and to my left. I again thank them. As we go into the new year, I also want to thank the people sitting on my right. Every day, my partner Carl and I have a million questions, and the benefit of having these people working for the township and a cooperative government is that in response to our million questions, we usually get about 1,020,000 answers. Chrissy, I also want to thank you for your cooperation with me. You have been a pleasure for me to work with, and we'll go from there. Thank you again to everyone.
Ms. Seeger?
New Year, and congratulations to everybody, and I look forward to working with every one of you. Thank you.
Ms. Palmieri?
Yes, the finance department's been working very hard trying to close out the year. We're just about there. I've been working closely with Pat on the 2020 budget. We're just about wrapped up and ready to present it to the mayor. And welcome new councilmen, and I look forward to working with all of you this year. Thank you.
Ms. Ferranti?
Yes, as the mayor had addressed the council to direct all concerns or questions through the administration, I want to reiterate that the public can come right directly to us, all of us. Come on in if you have any planning, zoning, construction, engineering, drainage. Come on in, email us, and we'll take the time to address your concerns or go from there. Happy New Year.
Thank you. Mr. Tabbitt?
Just a congratulations to members of the governing body on their elections, and Happy New Year to all. Nothing else to report at this time.
Thank you. Chief McFarland?
Happy and healthy holidays to everyone. I'd just like to report that it's been reasonably quiet after the busy holiday season. However, due to the unrest in the world, we're continuing to be vigilant by giving special emphasis to our houses of worship, our schools, and our retail areas. We've also reached out to our religious leaders, and we've assured them that if there's anything suspicious, by all means notify us, and just to keep us informed. And to remember, if you see something, say something. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Knopf?
Again, I'd like to wish everyone a Happy New Year and congratulations to everyone. The Department of Public Works is dealing with winter whenever it shows up. And just to remind everyone that we are currently going around collecting Christmas trees. We'll be doing it next week also, just to take the first phase through. And then it will be again in 2 weeks for Christmas tree.
Excellent. Mr. Dyer?
Just want to congratulate everyone. Happy New Year. And as Pat Seeger said, we're here to help out anyone we possibly can coming in. Happy New Year, everyone.
Mr. Heitzelman? I have to say, when we first got here, I had my glasses on, I said to John, I go, who's that sitting next to Dave? It's Jeff. I go, the guy with the tie and the shirt and all stuff. It's your first meeting?
This is my first meeting.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Anything to report?
Congratulations and welcome aboard to the new councilman. The Department of Fire would like to send thanks to past Department Chief Michael Heath from Hibernia Company 1 for his service. And I'd also like to recognize the new chief of the department, Joe Aragona, and Deputy Chief Jim Russo.
Thank you. Mayor, is anybody else here? Are we good?
We're good.
Need a motion to adjourn?
Second.
So moved. Aye.
You did it. Just keep being like this. There you go.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.